Hi, this is George LeMieux, Chairman of the Board of the Gunster Law Firm. You're here on Gunster's View from the Top, and this week I'm with my friend Matt Shore. Matt is the president of StevenDouglas here in Florida. They have 6 offices around the state. They're an executive search and interim services firm that specialize in bringing executives and businesses here to the state of Florida. And I thought there'd be no one better to talk to with this hot market here in Florida than my friend Matt Shore. Matt, welcome.
Thank you, Senator LeMieux. Happy to be here today. And I don't know if this conversation's from the top, but certainly we'll enjoy the conversation. Thanks for having me.
Well, appreciate you doing this with us. Matt, tell us a little bit about your business, what you do, and then we can talk a little bit about what's happening here in the state of Florida.
Yeah, happy to share. As you mentioned, I run an executive search and interim resources firm. We're based here in Florida and have been actually since 1984. So really seen a lot happen in the last 37 years in the market. I've actually been running Steve's firm now for the last 15 years, and I've been in the executive search business for 25 years. And it's been really interesting to watch the market here grow and expand. Now, our firm has grown nationally. So when I'm speaking today, it's as an advisor and service provider to growing companies in the market and helping companies move to the market as well as people move here, but also as a business owner that's growing a business here and has over a bunch of years. So we actually have 18 offices now around the country. We do have 6 here in the state of Florida, 3 in South Florida, as we discussed. So much like you, I mean, you guys are the Florida law firm. We've actually really built our business nationally with the foundation of the business here in Florida. It represents a significant amount of our business. We have right now 115 employees working across the 18 offices and about 350 consultants deployed through our interim resources business. But I'll tell you, about 250 of those consultants are deployed in the state and growing. And our search business is absolutely thriving here. It's been really fun to watch the ecosystem grow and see all this amazing talent coming to the market and all these great companies moving here.
Fantastic, Matt. Give us an example of the kind of work you do. So if I have a company and I need a CFO or a COO or a CEO, do I call StevenDouglas and then you do a search?
Yes. That's the core business is split into 2 pieces. So we have the executive search, and I'll call it the professional search business. And then we have the interim resource side. On the search side, we really are industry agnostic. We work across all sizes of companies as well. But we do a lot of work in the middle market emerging company space and a lot of investor-backed type businesses. And we help them build out their executive teams. But then what makes us pretty unique to a lot of our competitors at the C-suite level is we actually have a professional search team that can build the teams underneath the executives that we place as well. So that's a pretty unique attribute. The other thing that makes us unique is we have our interim resource business where we could augment their staff with interim folks within accounting, finance, HR, and IT with our IT staffing business. And so we have a set of competitors in executive search. We have a set of competitors in kind of that professional search market, like the middle management up and coming talent, as well as a whole host of competitors on the interim side. So it's a pretty multifaceted business, and the neat part about it is we work with Fortune 100 companies, and we work with emerging middle market companies, right, and startups, and so and really everything in between. So we see it all.
So Matt, let's talk a little bit about Florida. It's an exciting time to be here, even though we've struggled through the pandemic like the rest of the country. It seems Florida has done better. Our unemployment rate now is about 5%, when other places in the country are 8 and 9%. Our governor, Ron DeSantis, seems to hit the perfect balance between safety and freedom. And we see more and more businesses moving here. They were already moving here for the past 20, 25 years. But in the last couple of years, with the changes in tax laws, with how Florida has opened up, we're just seeing a ton of businesses coming here. So tell us what your experience is as you're bringing talent to businesses.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, the proof's in the pudding. We are adding people to every office we have in South Florida to service the expanding market that we're in, right? And so We wouldn't be hiring and investing, and we have been doing so through the pandemic if we didn't see a lot of companies moving here, right? It's the chicken and the egg. So I would say, the market is expanding tremendously across a variety of industries. We hear a lot about technology and the movement from Silicon Valley here. We hear a tremendous amount about the hedge fund, private equity fund, the financial services community moving down here, family offices from the Northeast. But there's other companies moving here as well, in lots of different sectors. And I think what's transpired, again, I left Pricewaterhouse 25 years ago to get into search. And, I would say that back at that time, there were only a couple of really prevalent industries here with, the cruise lines and hospitality and banking and such down on Brickell. And the explosion of industries, we did have a good foundation with a couple of airlines here and a lot of aviation service and manufacturing businesses. But I would say that we've seen an explosion across every aspect, life sciences, medical device, pharma, biopharma, technology in every facet of technology, the healthcare environment, right, with the expansion of just the population has really grown. But what I found pretty fascinating is that the private equity community we did have a few private equity firms here, longstanding ones that are fantastic. But the national private equity community didn't really want to invest in South Florida. They didn't think there was great talent here. They didn't think there were great companies here. And over those last 10 years, really, the amount of private equity investment into South Florida, venture capital investment into South Florida has been absolutely tremendous for our business. I know it's been tremendous for your business, and just really expanding the ecosystem of investor-backed businesses really brings jobs to the area, and it gives others confidence to come here. The thing that's really neat now is that the private equity firms themselves are moving here, and so we never used to see as many private equity firms, setting up shop in South Florida, and some major VCs moving here as well. And then again, the hedge fund community has been here, but now it's expanding dramatically. So, I think one of the things that used to be a very big objection of South Florida, I'll start with the candidate side, is if you were a high caliber, sought after candidate, in the Northeast working at a hedge fund or a private equity fund or some bank of some sort, and you were approached with an opportunity in South Florida, the fear would be, hey, this sounds like a great job, but if I move here for that job and it doesn't work out, am I going to have to move back to New York or Connecticut?
Right. Do we have a talent cluster where if you didn't like this one job, there'd be another job available?
Correct. And that was a big objection. And we'd have a lot of turndowns because candidates would say, look, I just don't want to have to move again in 3 or 4 or 5 years. Even if it is a successful run of 5 or 7 years, then I'm going to have to move again. And so, what's happened now is because the ecosystems of great companies is expanding here, people have more confidence moving here because they know if that job doesn't work out, there's a number of similar type businesses right behind it that they'll be able to move to. And so the same thing happens with the companies, right? It's we have a desire to move here. Typically, the chairman, CEO has a home here. They spend a lot of time here. They'd love to move here, but they were just fearful that there wasn't a talent base to continue to do what they do at a high level and be based in Florida. I think both things are happening at the same time. Companies have more confidence in the talent pool that's already here, and a broader talent pool is willing to come here, right? Because there's more jobs here, right? And it's happening concurrently, and we're really seeing an explosion of growth here. The third and unexpected element is, this whole, video conferencing and work from home, phenomenon that's happened. As I said, I've been in search for 25 years. We've been filling for the last year. We've been filling, and my firm has been hiring people through Zoom. In some cases, never meeting them, and putting them to work. So we're running search processes with candidates from all over the country, with companies in different places. And I think what's happening is some of those companies are going to move here, but they'll have employee bases elsewhere as well. And so that also helps alleviate some of the strain of, is the talent pool that I need here? because now with this remote workforce, it doesn't really matter.
Right. So it's like a convergence of all of these things at the same time with enough talent, enough companies, and then this electronic ability to be able to be anywhere. Maybe we've reached that tipping point that we've always hoped for.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting. Look, and then look, we always knew we could sell, the beach and the sand and the weather, right? And the lifestyle here has always been phenomenal. And no state income tax. The tax environment here is just fantastic for companies. And so, and to your point, we've been seeing it for 15 to 20 years. I mean, I've helped a lot of companies move here over the years from a lot of high cost, high tax, high regulation states. That is not a new phenomenon. It's just accelerating right now. This whole COVID scenario really kind of pushed everybody over the edge. So it's a very, very exciting times for our company, for our teams. I think it's great for the market. I think as you think about what's happening with all of these individuals, moving here, high-end individuals, buying homes and spending money at restaurants and retail, and it's only going to be good for the overall economy. They say a rising tide raises all ships, right? And now that's not without some consequences that we have to really think about and be concerned about, right? We have actually had some recent turndowns just because cost of living
is getting a little bit higher.
Yeah, it's definitely going up, right? And so, the homeowner in the Midwest, unlike the homeowner in Greenwich, Connecticut, or New York City, they move to Florida, and it's a big pay increase even if they keep the same compensation. If you're moving from some other lower cost states in the Midwest, you may get a little sticker shock now. You didn't get that 15 or 20 years ago. But some of the neighborhoods are getting pretty expensive. And so it's something we just have to keep an eye on, right? And obviously we want to be concerned about traffic, right? And public transportation, how we address some of those issues.
Have you heard specifically any CEOs or executives tell you that the way that their state handled the shutdown was kind of pushed them over the edge to move to Florida?
Oh, absolutely. And you and I both know, being in the Young Presidents Organization together, even though I know both of us are feeling not as young as we felt once upon a time. I'm in the New York chapter as well as being chairman of the YPO Palm Beach chapter right now. And I've talked to a lot of presidents and CEOs and founders up in the New York metro area that really the way that the state of New York handled the pandemic has really driven them out, and many of them came here just to kind of hide in Florida for the meantime, right, and run their companies remotely. But I am finding, one, through people applying to our chapter in Palm Beach as a transfer from other markets, but two, just direct conversations with friends who are, asking about schools and neighborhoods and such. They don't want to leave, they really want to be here, and so it's like I said, it's going to be a very, very good times ahead for South Florida as far as my vantage point. And we're involved with companies of all sizes, companies in all industries.
Right.
And we have a pretty good purview to the market.
Well, after World War I and the Spanish flu, we had the Roaring 20s, and we might be having the Roaring 20s again, and there might be the loudest roar might be right here in South Florida. So, Matt, we thank you for being on Gunster's View from the Top. Thank you for that insight, and for everyone who needs an executive to bring down here or is thinking about moving their business to Florida, make sure you reach out to Matt at StevenDouglas. Thank you, Matt.
George, thanks for all the great work you do in the community.
Take care, my friend.
Take care. Bye.